Hey, it's Naima Singletary here. So glad you made it, as I'm expecting that you're considering registering for my 5-week online course, Your Sex, Your Visibility, and Your Money. Man. So this is this is root and rare work. Root meaning if you really want to, like, deeply, not where you're forcing or you're trying or you're faking it till you're making it and it's pretending, but where it's really just you now. Like, because I know this place of just really pushing and like faking it till I make it and like trying to show what I'm capable of, like this auditioning kind of thing. So I know that. And now this place that I am now, and that I'm teaching my clients to be in this place of deep, anchored knowing, okay? That is what makes this 5-week course root work. And it's rare because hardly anybody, I know one coach. I don't work privately with her, but I have worked in group with her. But I believe in a private setting, she would be doing this level of rare work as well. When I say rare, I mean really getting into the poison, right? Because we all carry these poisons that we're scared to really get into, that we need for our healing. Like, your medicine is the poison, okay? And so when you have issues around money, and you have issues around sex, and you have issues around being visible in the world, and really allowing yourself to own it, whatever it is for you, you have to go into the poison, the ugliness, the grit, the difficulty that's really getting in the way. And so in this course, this online course, Your Visibility, Your Sex, and Your Money, that's what it's all about. Rare and root level work. And so I have my handy dandy iPad here. And I'm going to go into what we're going to be covering in the 5 weeks, okay? It's actually 4 weeks, and I decided to add a 5th week as a bonus because, first of all, I want to really get you nurtured. I just want to get you, like, so puffed up and full that you're ready, like you're really ready to go to the next level. Because then I'm going to invite you to an exquisite opportunity in the south of France, but you're only going to find out more about that later once you register for this course. So, first of all, there are 5 weeks, and here are the 5 weeks. The first week is tapping into your body's wisdom, and the order may be changed around, but these are the topics. Week 1, tapping into your body's wisdom. Week 2, the surrender of oral sex, plus pleasure and letting your life get really good. Continuing to let it get good. Unapologetic voice and visibility, okay? Love it. Queen's language, how to really start to retrain yourself, your mind, your consciousness, and those around you by using new language, Queen's language. And week 5, which is the bonus week, is money mind and setting non-negotiable standards for your life. Money mind and setting non-negotiable standards for your life. So, I could really go into these, but I want to keep them, as succinct as possible because I don't want to make this a long video. And I feel like you know if this is the place for you. If you're here, you probably either already know or you just want to get some kind of details about what the 5 weeks is going to be like. So it's going to be online. Well, actually, it's a teleclass. So when I say online, I mean you have the option to either participate online or you have the option to call in, okay? And you'll get all those details once you register on this page. But each week, we're going to be going deeper into each of these topics and how to cultivate the healing on the body-based level, bringing it out through your vocal cords, and then practicing the mind that helps you do all of this in unison. Because what I have found on my own journey, and what I have found with working with women all over the world who are also on their journey, is that if the body is not included with what you're trying to do with the mind, there's a way that you'll self-sabotage. And I actually did a radio show about this because I have a weekly radio show, and I talked about how the body will start, the experience I've had where my body seemed to revolt against the progress that I was making, where there was like this, feet would hurt, back would hurt, head would hurt, just joints aching for no reason. And it was like there was an attack on my body. There was like this way that my mind, there was this force that I was trying to create through just a mental state. But so much of the trauma, because I'm someone who has experienced sexual trauma, so it's had its way in my body and locked itself in the tissue cells. And so everything that I do, my whole being has to be involved. My body, my soul, my mind. I can't just go with my mind. And I tried that because I had hired this coach, and it was all about wealth consciousness. And so I was doing the reading and the mantras and the repetition, right? And it worked powerfully as far as I could recount and I could say and I could speak and I could, right? I could be present with the vocal repetition of it, but my body was not on board. It was like, it would be like two different people and they'd be like fighting each other like, come on, no, I'm not ready. Come on, no, I'm not ready. And so this is why it's so important that we start with really activating the wisdom of the body, because there's just so much information there that's signature to you, that I cannot give to you, that I cannot teach you, but I can help bring you back there and bring you back there and bring you back there. Because when we're out in this world, and there's so much information, there's so many moving parts, and we're dealing with our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with our lovers and husbands and kids and friends and family, right? And then we're trying to build a business or do our own healing. There's so much information. It's so easy to get caught up here. It's so easy to go up here. Let me go think about it. Let me go think about it, when really the thinking about it should be happening here and cultivating that relationship with your God. So this is a big part of where we're going to be going into and tapping into your body's wisdom. And then an unapologetic voice and visibility is really tapping into, what does it look like to be you? What are the desires that were planted in you that only you can live out? And when I say your true desires, I mean, like, first of all, I already just said it, the ones that are planted in you, but really discerning what is a desire that you adopted from somewhere, from somebody, from, right? Like, you're supposed to want this thing. Like for me, it was like marriage. Like, I got married, but I wasn't like, oh my God, I really want marriage, you know? And we live in a society where, for a lot of women, that's what validates her womanhood, is marriage. But you may not even want marriage, but there's so much pressure from the world to get married that you're looking for a husband or you're feeling like you're not complete or good enough unless somebody asks you to marry them. So we're really going to be tapping into true desires. And I did a video about this a couple weeks ago, that when you tap into true desire, it has its own language and its own frequency, and it moves you. It just, you have to, I just cannot say enough about this. This is work. When you do it, you get the result that me just telling you doesn't communicate. Like, your real, it's kind of like the difference between talking about oral sex and the amazing experience of orgasm during oral sex, and actually laying on your back, relaxing, softening into your bed, and allowing yourself to receive. That's the difference between the two. All right, so that's that. And then in week 3, where I'm going into this money mind, and this is where I say the mind has the value. You got to train your mind. You got to get, right, this whole new identity, this whole new way of speaking, which is week 4, or is it week 5, where we go into Queen's language, really refining this way that you're looking at yourself, your identity. Because if you see yourself as not good enough, and you see yourself as fat, and you see yourself as not attractive, and you see yourself as somebody who can't handle money, and you see yourself as somebody who just can't, then there's no way in the world you're going to make plans and, you know, move forward and create things based in grandness and expansiveness and queenness and in abundance and love, if your identity is somebody who doesn't deserve and who can't and who isn't good enough and who's small and afraid. So this is why we go into the money mind and really setting new standards for yourself. And then in Queen's language, okay? Queen's language is a book that I'm going to be recommending for you once we get inside the course, that really helped me with really policing my language, because I'm the only one who can really do that. And when I say language, it's not just what you speak, but it's what you speak. It's what you're saying in here. So we'll go into that. And then the last one is the surrender. I've already started to talk about this. The surrender of oral sex pleasure and letting your life get really good. So what I have found is if a woman can learn how to do two things really well, her life totally flips onto something radically, beautifully different. Two things. She learns how to receive oral sex well, and she learns how to receive large amounts of money well. Those two things, when you learn how to do, it opens up all the channels everywhere up in your life. The channel of receiving everything from help to attention, to love, to affection, and even being able to receive all the ugly of life without letting it take you out of the game and feel like you're insignificant. Like somebody can call you a slut whore bitch and it's just like, okay. So like it opens up those channels. And then when you learn how to, and these are both in the reception, so receiving money and receiving quality oral sex consistently, right? Because I used to do this feast or famine thing where I'd make a lot of money and then I wouldn't make money for a few months. And so I'm talking about consistently receiving high quality sex, attention, and oral sex, and consistently receiving large amounts of money. This just really opens up your channels to be available for life and to create what you want in life and to stay with it and to stay with it and to stay with it and to stay with it. So if this speaks to you and you just know that you know that you know that this is the next step for you, I want you to register on this page and know this, that this is a really rock solid beginning, because this game of healing and becoming an unapologetic woman who's living an unapologetic life, this is a lifelong game. And this is why I have the 9 non-negotiable principles that we teach at the Academy for Womanhood. One of them is you must surrender to the long game. Because this is forever. This is not just a 5-week program or a year-long program, or this is for the rest of your life. And you do plan to be unapologetic for the rest of your life, don't you? Not just for 5 weeks or 1 year or 5 years, for the rest of your life. And I'm absolutely thrilled for any woman who takes her being, her life, her voice, her body, her power so seriously that she invests in giving it clear, undivided, and loving attention. So if that's you, go ahead and register on this page. You will immediately get the information for calling into the weekly class or listening online, and you can ask questions and participate both ways. It's going to be highly interactive, none of this just lurking and watching from the background, because when you start to speak up and you start to write and you start to engage in your life, things start to change. And this is what women who are both in the Unapologetic Womanhood group on Facebook and who are working with me privately are experiencing in their lives every single day. So I look forward to being a part of this, if this speaks with you, and being in a community of women, because this is going to be a community of women from all over the world participating and refining and cultivating their voice, their sex, and their money. So I look forward to being with you.